Welcome to the very first episode of our podcast. We're so excited starting here. I just want to say that we're not really here as teachers. Well, I kind of see you as a teacher, a little bit more than me, anyways, but I think we're also both learners. We're both like kind of walking this path. And we're excited. And I think this year, I feel like we want to take this and do the path that we're traveling. So each episode for us is going to be a step. And hopefully by the end of the year, we can look back and reflect how far we've come, what's something that we changed, what are some things that surprised us, or what are some gentle shifts we wish we taken or that we want to take for the new year, because there's always room to grow and change. So this is how we're going to take it, and we're hoping you guys come with us and travel the path with us. Okay, so before we dive into today's conversation, we wanted to share on how we're going to shape the year ahead. So the way we've designed this podcast is super gently. It's not going to be forced. It's going to be a bunch of themes that focus on growth, healing, and self-understanding. And each month we'll also share resources that go along with the theme. Some will be free. Love free thing will be premium, and some will be physical tools that you can hold in your. And speaking of this, I have something for you before going further. These are the journals. I got it for you in both English and Spanish because I personally noticed that I think differently in different languages. And so I feel that sometimes you might reflect in a certain way in English and reflect in a different way. And now you got the opportunity to do both. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And honestly, just opening them now, I'm noticing first off how there's a lot of space for me to write and reflect. And I like how it sets, like, there's like a quote that kind of sets your day, like your intention for the day. Love that. I love that. And we love birds. If you have some bird ear animals, decked out. So I think that that's really cool. And then for me, because I'm super artsy and I love to draw and make art, there's a lot of space for me to do that. Like it's full open. So it's not overwhelming at all. It's gentle and it just invites you to do it. So this is awesome. Thank you so much. Excited to share it with you. Okay, so the reflection journal, before we get further into our podcast, reflection journal is available in a monthly free digital. So you can go on their website, www.sanctuary-of-wings.com, and you can actually download the monthly every month. Get like a small monthly file and download it for free, or you can buy the full version, either the book or there's a digital full version. And the full version, the difference it has is it has the monthly and weekly. And right now, the Spanish version is only available in physical copy. That's it for the journal. And if you're watching the video version, you'll see, for example, there's the physical, and I love it. But even the free digital version is enough for you to just, like, you don't need to be worried, oh, I'm waiting for shipping, or I don't have the funds ready. Don't make excuses for yourself. Just do it. Just do it. We want people to do it. Us accountable. Exactly. We keep each other accountable. Yeah, so exactly. We're keeping you accountable too. And with that being said, there's also something else. So there's the free vision board activity sheet. So it looks like this. This is printed out. And then that's the back. So it's simple, it's printable, and it helps you map out and kind of invite yourself of what you think your year could look like. And again, it's just from a curious perspective. It's not meant to be any type of pressure or anything. We have stickers for it. So then actually download these digital and you can print them like I did here, or you can just, like, if you're using it on the phone, got like these formats. Amazing. And we're gonna do these ourselves as well and bring them back maybe on another podcast. I'm excited to share that. And okay, so now we're going to the main part of the podcast. So this is gonna be like what's the referring part, where is the conversation. So that's the part that I'm the most excited about because I'm excited about having these conversations. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how it works is we're gonna have just the smallest topic, and they're gonna be like our guides, and they're not scripts, so we might get a little bit off topic sometimes. But I
That's
think
cool.
no,
It's
I think it's
fun.
that's fun. But their starting point that helps us stay grounded, and that they still leave space for intuition.
And learning, because I learn things from her and she'll learn things from me, and I think that's the best way.
So I feel like I like on that kind of gentle path, definitely like student, but I am a very eager.
Absolutely. We like that. We definitely do. And I think if you're open to learn and just in your life, there's always opportunities to learn something new, whether it's experiences or something like some type of knowledge. Always be open to it. You never know where it will bring you.
I love it. So our first topic is actually what does it mean to arrive in your life? This is like our first podcast. We're kind of arriving in January, and like, but what does it mean?
I think that's super interesting because when you think about a new year, it can feel stressful, like emotionally, and I feel like it can also feel like almost like a physical feeling. So sometimes I do feel that, and then I feel stressed, like, oh, what will this new year bring? Almost like a nervous, like a little bit scared. But I think for me, arriving, it's being willing to just be there, be willing to do it, and then just doing it. You know, like I have several goals that I've set for my year, and I definitely want to make sure I do one thing a day that brings me. So I'm gonna do it every single day, no matter what. And this is actually my one for today. Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So like for me, actually, you actually brought up some good points that I kind of want to talk about. Because you mentioned how like the new year can be a little bit stressful, and I feel like you see a lot of that social media. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna get going into the new year," and I get it because there's like a lot of stuff happening out in the world, but we can't control that. And I feel that if we look at starting a new year, but look only within our bubble, like the things we can, which is mostly our actually instead of being stressful, it's almost like when you finally make that connection, that realization that what will matter the most in my life is what I do. And as far as it's not like, oh, I don't care what's happening in life, but it's like, what can I do for myself? And, everyone kind of has that.
It's a change perspective.
Yeah.
So if you're looking internally, you realize that it's completely different. You don't have to worry about others or what others are doing. Or a lot of people do this, they'll compare themselves to others. And that is extremely dangerous because you are an individual first. And I say this a lot. You're an individual first. Take care of yourself, and comparing yourself to others doesn't get you anywhere.
And it's not only that, was comparing yourself to is only with
So compare yourself to yourself. How can you grow? What can you do? Yeah. Like, what's your best version of yourself that you could see or that you want to be, and do that. Get there. Be like, that's my goal. That's my girl. Like, picture Paola. She knows. Like, she knows where she wants to be, and she's gonna get there. And so compare yourself. Compare yourself against yourself.
it. So bringing it back to arriving, I think we're arriving at these like conclusions. We're like arriving at this point where we can kind of start the year in a really positive way.
Yeah. Yeah. Having these conversations, being ready, open minded, you're opening yourself to everything that you're. I was like, my it's cool.
Kind of gave me that. So what does the art of beginning again mean to you?
For me, it helps me remind myself that I have to be gentle to myself, because I can be a little bit of a perfectionist. I can push myself.
them.
Yeah, and like things that I do. So because I'm very good at doing the things that I do, I push myself to do better. And I'm always telling myself, do better, Paola, which it's also joking, but I do
Yeah.
have to learn to be more gentle.
Yeah, because what I've learned is like your subconscious, it does not understand
No, it's the
the
words.
the word. So if you're like saying, even if you're saying, "Oh, I'm so stupid," like jokingly, like you're actually programming yourself
You will
to think
believe
that.
it. Absolutely. So, and I do better because I'm always like super growth oriented, but I need to stop putting so much pressure and just living. So it's almost like a daily reflection for myself when I begin again every day or every year or every month or week. Okay, Paola, recheck yourself. Like,
I find it so interesting because you come across to me as such a gentle person, but you're not gentle
with myself, no, but with others, and this is what I'm trying. Like, this is a realization from last year. So this is a new realization. Like, I was
so you've
so
got
tough. Damn, girl, like I'm on it. And this is one of my goals. Like, bring myself joy because I want to see the glimmers in life. Like, I want to see the glimmer every day. Like, let's say, for example, I'm stuck in traffic. That's okay. It's a beautiful day out. I'm getting a lot of sun. Like the sun is beautiful, or I'm listening to my music and listening to a podcast.
You have more time for your podcast. You have more time for your audiobook.
Yeah, I don't care. That's a glimmer rather than whatever, right?
That's so important. No, I reframe.
So begin again. For me, begin again for my brain. Reset it. Remember you're at your own pace. And what do I need from me?
For me, I actually agree with a lot of what you say. I also think that for me, beginning again, like if I'm going to associate it with this year, beginning again is a lot of last year was a good year, but it was kind of a struggle. We had some really bad years before that, but last year was rather uneventful. But it was kind of like the calm after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a structural, I kind of build a foundation of feeling okay. And now beginning again, I feel like this year is going to be like when I actually build. You know, I settled the foundations, I got rid of all the rotten wood, and now we're ready and we're gonna begin again.
That's amazing. You're ready. And you can feel ready at any point, but beginning again can happen anytime. It's not just January, right? So everyone may not be ready. Oh, you may feel ready, as you do your daily reflections and your intentions and you grow through your path and your journey in the year. You may be beginning again 2 months. You may be beginning again tomorrow. And that's okay if you begin again over and over and over, as long as you're gentle to yourself and you continue.
January is good in the aspect that it's a reminder, but it's definitely not the only time we can do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely.
So the next question kind of goes back to a free resource, which is could vision boards be a tool for selfless?
It's so. There's, I get, like, at least for me, I'm super artsy. I love putting things down, making art, creating things. And sometimes putting things in the physical, like either you're touching or, like magazine articles or you're choosing some beautiful stickers. I think that's super intentional what your brain goes to. So let's say I see a beautiful bird. I'm pulling that, I'm putting that in. That's intentional because your brain reacts for some reason, right?
Yeah, so you didn't like it's like you don't even do it consciously. It's just listening to you or you're kind of following that instinct. So it's definitely selfless. Like that.
And it's some intuition too, because you may not realize it, but somewhere in your brain, like your person knows what you want, what you need, or where you want to be, right? And that's why I think vision boards are helpful because it allows that reflection, and especially if you set it like if you set yourself as, okay, I'm gonna do this vision board for the whole year. In your brain, you're thinking, okay, 2020, and that encompasses seasons, months, weeks, right? So you set yourself with that intention and your intuition will just take over completely.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I was actually like until I read that question out, like I didn't quite realize just how much that's exactly what it is. It's listening to yourself.
Absolutely.
Because, like, when someone just doesn't ask you what do you want out of the year, that's a little, like, vague, right? It's like, where do you pinpoint your thoughts? Like, we want lots of things, but what's important to us? And when you're building a vision board, I feel that you just go with what you're drawn to, and you might be surprised with the result. And I don't know if you've heard, there's a lot of people that say that they build vision boards and then they go back and look and like they're like amazed and shocked like that like some of the stuff is almost like exactly what they are envisioning for them.
That's right. Because subconsciously it's there now.
Yeah.
So in the back of your mind, you're like, I want this. So you in your daily life, you will look for that, right? Whether it's a person, a thing, an activity, colors, right? Like sometimes I do vision boards for like outfits I want
Oh,
to
I love
wear.
that.
Yeah.
It's like so like specific,
Yeah.
but why not?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'll go, well, I love to thrift. So I'll go thrifting and this is my vision board. This is my vibe. Go. And it sets me up. So it's kind of the same thing for your vision board, right? You're setting yourself up for success in an easy way, but it doesn't have to be like,
And it's not like
yeah, it's not pressure.
it's not like on these like it's not like a to-do.
Exactly. Because again, if someone asks you, like, what do you want for the year? You're like, even if you ask me this, I'm like, girl, I have no idea. It can be overwhelming. Like, it's a lot.
And also like sometimes speaking of your goals is overwhelming in the aspect that now you feel like you have it.
Yeah.
And it's pressure.
No, we don't want that.
No. So
No,
I
it's
think
just
the vision
gonna-
board is a really good tool for that.
Absolutely.
So the next question is, what are your grounding practices for the new year?
For myself, I so I also like to do tarot reading. So for me, the first thing I did in the new year was I did a reading for myself. And I loved it. Basically, my reading for this year was that this year was gonna all the hard work that I've been putting in, whether it's mind, body, soul, physical, whatever you want to read on me, it's gonna come to fruition. Which is awesome because I'm going to end. Yeah, like this, I already spoke to some of the gentleness that I'm working on. That's an aspect of it, right? The relationships around me, that's another aspect. So it's just going. And I feel like it really set me, like it validated me. And I love it because if I feel validated, I'm going to continue it.
For sure. Like I don't know how I feel about it as far as like whether I believe it will like tell you or not.
Oh, no, I don't think so. And those are also,
But at the same time though, it's kind of like because of this.
it is a subconscious.
So in a way, it's like it's telling the future because it's helping.
Exactly. And that's how I take it. I don't do tarot readings because, this will been absolutely 100%.
I'd love to believe that.
I
It's
wish.
fun.
I wish. But it's on how you take it as an individual, how you, as your intuition, make the reading. So I'm taking this reading as this is how I'm taking it. But you could take it so many different ways, so it's almost like fluid.
And in a way, self-listening.
Absolutely.
Because it's like you don't really know where you want to go until you get a reading.
You're like,
You're like, oh, okay, well, but this reading, it could mean this. And now you realize that.
That's right. And then you frame it where your subconscious wants to go, which is why I love it.
Awesome. I'm not sure I have actually, like, I want to put in some grounding practice. I feel like I'm a little bit.
Okay, that's okay. And this is totally okay.
I mean, I have like the very basic grounding. That's my morning. Yeah, my morning coffee is, and it's funny because I'm not someone who drinks a whole lot of coffee during the day. I have morning like that one coffee, and it's like my day starts after. And sometimes it technically starts at the same time, but it doesn't feel like a start until the coffee is done. It's just like,
okay, we're fine. I can start now.
Exactly. So I have that. I used to have wine, my grandma, but I'm very, very rarely now. So I'm kind of looking for something kind of replace that. Okay, this is like I'm grounding myself as in this is the time I can relax now. So I kind of need to find that. And I keep on forgetting to do it. But one thing I really want to do is for me is that yes, it's good and
it feels really warm,
like red, like and it's just like okay, because I need that off switch.
Yeah.
So I gotta remember
That's a really good
practice.
idea. And it sounds like we have different kinds of drowning. So
Yeah.
yours are very liquid and it makes you feel warm and delicious, which is very interesting. That works for
Liquids.
you. And that helps, switch your brain. And that's awesome. And everyone will have different types of grounding practices. Like I know if I'm feeling stressed, I ground myself by wiggling my toes and breathing deeply in square breathing. So
I've heard
I think
square breathing is so
square breathing is amazing. The way it works is you breathe in, you hold, you breathe out, and you hold. So it's like a square. Okay. And for me, by doing that, especially if you can hold longer and longer, for example, you breathe for 4 and you hold for 4, like you do all 4. It really resets and you can increase, and it completely resets my calming. So even when I'm feeling stressed, wiggle my toes and breathe.
I hear that's actually really good for
Yeah, I believe it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So maybe that will work for people who need the physical grounding aspects too.
yes. So that's interesting because you said that my grounding was very liquid. And I started thinking, so you're talking breath that's like air. The tarot is maybe more like
Mental,
earth.
maybe earth. Ooh, that earth. Yeah.
Yeah. And so and here's another thing where I'm gonna sound a little like woo. Yes. Is that I'm a Taurus. So
Okay.
I'm very
Grounded.
ground.
Yeah.
And I'm affected the water.
Scorpio.
So kind of
Right
like
there.
and
Water.
you're the water and
Yeah.
you're looking for grounding by
Yeah.
going with kind of a more opposite.
Yeah.
Look,
Very interesting. It's very interesting. And we say woo woo because, again, not everyone may believe in these things, but at least for myself, I find that it helps to get an idea, right? Where do people come from? What's their base?
And it's kind of like I don't know, like when I talk about the astrology stuff, like I have to admit that deep down I believe it. And just like my conscious brain gets really mad about it. It's really angry. It's like, why are you believing this? This makes no sense. But like deep down, I do.
Somehow it does make sense. Somehow it does. And that's okay.
On to the next question. So, how do you honor the versions of yourself that got you?
That's really good because past Paola, she didn't know. I'm going to be honest. She didn't. And
Gotta be just
but I honor her. I have to be gentle, and she got me here, right? So I honor her with a lot of compassion, and she worked hard to get me here. Without her, I wouldn't be here, right? And it takes a lot of growth, a lot of effort, and there's a lot of growth and resilience that went back. Looking just in every single aspect, and it could be work, education, relationship, like all these things. It's hard. It's not like people say, oh, like when I was young, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult because I'll be
also what was wrong with that?
right. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be an adult. I want to be a kid, because life was easy. And to be honest, life was easy. Less stress, less responsibilities. So I'm super gentle on my baby self that didn't know better, and my teen self, and all like, I'm in my 30s.
You're such a good point in your life to like grow.
Absolutely.
Like it's perfect. Like you're just at that time where you're like leaving. Because a lot of people say that in your 20s you're an adult, but once you get to 30 and over, you start looking back and you're like, was I really?
Yeah. Maybe a baby adult.
Yeah,
like you're a baby adult.
Yeah, it's like you're playing at being an adult.
Exactly. We try and we may not succeed, but she got me here, right? And I know that, in my next decade, when I'm 40, 50, 60, baby adult Paola, like mid adult Paola, she will have gotten me there, right? So I think it's a lot of compassion and resilience because you have to do all the work for your future self.
So like for me, I'm in my mid 40s. And so I look back and I think, okay, 20s definitely was like, I was playing at being an adult. I can't say I was a kid. I was living on my own from the age of 19. So I was definitely playing at being an adult. But, it's like you're physically there, but you're not really mentally there.
Yeah.
And my 30s was really one of like the best time. I wasn't making the best decisions, but as far as like I started to really grow like emotionally and mentally, and I feel that you're definitely like ahead of how I was. Definitely. But I'm kind of like when I look at, because I have a lot of friends around your age, and I look and I'm so excited for you guys because I feel like it's such a great decade.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against the 40s. Actually, I'm finding those amazing too. So I don't know. Maybe it just keeps on getting better.
I'm sure it does. And I think it's your perspective.
Yeah.
Right? If you're willing to do the work, awesome. And I think also it's your perspective. Like I know I said it twice, but how like if you think, oh, I'm a decade older, I'm getting old.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't like
Sure.
stop thinking that. But other times I'm like, I don't know. It's like I'm older and I don't like it because I love this time on this planet right now. And,
Mhm.
you know,
I want it to be forever.
maybe I will like that later, but like right now it's like, oh, it's going too fast. Like, but at the same time, I get really excited
Yeah,
because it's like yet another decade has passed and I still feel good.
absolutely. And I will say you're privileged to be who you are and able bodied and everything. So again, I think that you go back with compassion. Like you made all the right moves, all the right changes to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like even you can look back on your mistakes and know that they were mistakes and know that you would probably do them all over again the same way.
Exactly. Because they brought you here. You who you are to be with the family. Exactly. We love ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And here's the last questions for our little conversation, which is what are your somatic cues of presence? So like using your body as a
And this is, I think for me, it goes back. I spoke a little bit about what are some cues like my breath, breathing, I wiggle my toes. And I think what's important is the mind body connection because sometimes that's split. Like we think, oh, my mind is just my intellect. But no, actually, your mind can also be your intuition, the way you think about things, the way you feel your body. Like you feel pain, you feel excitement, is your heart rushing? For me, I also think feeling amazing. Sometimes when I'm really excited or nervous, so what I do is I'll just like hold my hands, or I speak a lot with my hands. I'm very restful, so that's one way that I know that when I'm living in the moment, I feel it in my fingers and my toes.
like goosebumps, like
Yeah.
somebody says something like meaningful and it's just like and it's like that brain connection that like my brain is like this was so meaningful. I'm going to like show it in your body.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think it's really interesting because we tend to get this very separate. And I know that there's like some certain types of therapies, like thing. You heard about that? No. So like it's like something about how you're flipping like really.
So like you tap your forehead?
Yeah, but I don't. What? I didn't research into it much more. I've just heard a lot of people talking about it. Yeah,
Believe it because they do say that your forehead is like a third eye almost.
yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. And then your brain, again, there's so much going on. So you could almost like release tension by just like, I guess, tapping.
Yeah. But it's also like, again, it's also part of just being people, right?
Yeah.
So it's maybe just like another way of making that mind
Yeah.
connection.
So almost like resetting yourself, like checking yourself, like, go. And I think what's interesting about this is for me, these aspects, these somatic cues, help me live in the now. So sometimes if I'm too nervous or excited or whatever, I'll just breathe. And that helps me kind of reset so that I'm living in the now and being more intentional.
And living in the now is so I read something once that said that living in the past is what brings you depression and living in the future is what brings you anxiety.
Absolutely.
And I'm totally like someone who lives in the future. Like I'm always
What if?
what if
Yeah.
like oh I'm gonna get there like and everything is about like future goals. And to the point where I don't get there because I can't stay enough in the present to make those goals
Yeah.
happen.
Just focus.
So like those like feeling the body cues that can actually allow you to stay in the present might actually be like super useful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it'll be just by first you need to recognize that you're feeling that type of way, right? And then figuring out what type of cues work for you, right? Because it may not work for everyone. I know breathing works for me, but maybe for you, V, it may not.
No, I have a hard time with the breathing, but I think that again is my mind going like so many
Mhm.
different places. So it's like the slowing down. I need to learn how to do it. Like
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't really work, but I think it should. Like I think it's something that I need to learn. The idea, oh my God, I don't have time to just sit there and breathe.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
it's like I have to make
Something that you want to, or that you may put in your vision board, like,
Mhm.
I want to learn how to X, Y, and Z. There you go. Meditation, breathwork meditation is amazing. If you ever get a chance to, I highly encourage.
Yes, you've mentioned it before, and I was like,
Absolutely. We'll go one day. We'll go. So before we close off, so we're going to try a little grounding practice together. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Giving me
So sit comfortably, move your body, reset, fix your shoulders if you need to. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a couple of seconds. And all the way up. And let your shoulders relax. Feel it all the way in your. Notice your body and notice this moment and the breath up and in. And we're going to just do that one more time. We're going to breathe again deep all the way as far as you can. And so 1, 2, and slow. Breathe all the way, noticing your. Yeah. And I will say, even if you don't have time for that, just doing like,
but we tend to do that, or at least I do, when I'm stressed, and it doesn't really release the stress that much that
yeah,
way. So it's gonna kind of that might be
it could be that's what you're
brain, like
used
yeah,
to, your brain associates.
yeah.
Yeah, just that took what, 2 seconds?
It- or it's just-
That's why we're practicing this. And this could be a daily practice, very easily done.
and I'm gonna give them an activity
Yeah.
because I like them. You don't have to, but maybe write down one thought about where you're arriving right now. So that's the invitation I'm giving you for the week. To just write down, reflect, and figure out not where you're going, but where you're arriving. So you're now again.
Where are you coming from? Oh, well, thank you for joining us today, guys. It was great for our first
Yeah.
contact. We were so nervous. So happy that you're here joining us. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, so we're planning on doing one a week. I'm not sure if next week's gonna have
Yeah.
one. So we'll have to figure out how our timing works. But as soon as we get into the groove of things, we are gonna have one podcast a week and like a topic that we're gonna just kind of dissect throughout the month.
yeah, for sure. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you guys. Bye.